Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining. We'll get started in just a moment as we clear the waiting room. As a reminder, when you are entering the waiting room, please do remain on mute unless or until you are providing testimony before the board. Just one moment as we are still clearing the waiting room. Good morning. This is a hearing before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. Today's hearing is being held pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. Before we review procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman of the Board, Kathleen Joyce.
Good morning. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm Chair of the Boston Licensing Board. Today, I'm also joined by Commissioner Liam Curran and Commissioner Canna Saxon.
Thank you very much. Please ensure that your audio and visuals are working properly if you will be testifying before the board this morning. I will call each item in the order that it appears on this morning's agenda. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the licensee, who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department, and whether there are any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify. I will then swear in all parties. After that, the police report will be read into the record, and the licensee or their representative will have the opportunity to make a brief statement, followed by questions by the chair and commissioners. All testimony will be limited only to those individuals with firsthand personal knowledge of the alleged incident. We will be taking one item out of order this morning to accommodate a scheduling request. We will begin this morning with item number 2 on this morning's agenda, and then moving to the top. Calling item number 2, CM Diamond Importers LLC, located at 1 to 4 Winter Place. Date of the incident, March 8th, 2025. Assault and battery on a police officer in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13D, and an over-intoxicated employee off duty in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64. Who is present on behalf of the licensee?
William Burke as attorney for the licensee, DBA Evans, and with me is Mark Malatesta, the COO and manager.
Great, thank you. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Officer Charlie Gonzalez, Donna.
Sorry, it was a little difficult to hear you there. Would you try one more time?
Officer Charlie Gonzalez, down at District D4.
Great, thank you, Officer Gonzalez. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify?
I believe that office is for number 2, Mr. Green.
Yes, we are on number 2 right now. This is Evans.
I think she's doing rock bottom.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep, officer, we're starting out of order with number 2.
Detective Gallagher can read this if the officer's not here.
Great. Thank you, Sergeant Detective Gallagher. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of this incident who wish to testify? Can you all please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Sergeant Detective Gallagher, if you could please read the report into the record for the board.
Yes, good morning. I'll be reading a Boston Police incident report written by Officer Rosade Gerard on about 8:57 p.m. on Sunday, March 8th, 2025. Officers Tavares and Gerard in the Alpha 202 responded to a radio call for removal at 2 Winter Place, Boston, Mass. Also assisted was Officer Mugeski in the Alpha 425. Upon arrival, officers observed 2 male employees holding down the suspect, later identified as Patrick Murphy, date of birth 1/27/95, due to him being heavily intoxicated and causing a disturbance inside the restaurant on a busy Saturday night. 2 males stated that they work at the restaurant, and Mr. Murphy showed up to work to stay off intoxicated and caused a disturbance. Officers informed Mr. Murphy to leave Evans, but he refused numerous times. One of the male employees stated that the suspect has a drinking problem and when the staff tried to get him home safely, he became aggressive with the staff. Officers repeatedly asked Mr. Murphy to leave and attempted to help him call an Uber on his phone. Officers had to physically escort Mr. Murphy out and told him he could not come back to the restaurant tonight. It should be noted that Mr. Murphy was clearly visibly intoxicated, was making incomplete and incoherent statements throughout the interaction. Mr. Murphy was unsteady on his feet and was off balance, stumbling when he tried to walk. Mr. Murphy then went around the corner and went to street and tried to access the restaurant from behind the building via the back alley. Officers continued to try to help Mr. Murphy and call him an Uber on his phone, but Mr. Murphy kept taking his phone out and then putting it back into his pocket. Officers were attempting to de-escalate the situation and assist Mr. Murphy in a respectful and cordial manner, but Murphy was continuing to cause a disturbance on Winter Street and rejecting every officer's attempt to get him home safely. Murphy, on multiple occasions, bumped officers with body and approached the personal space in a confrontational manner. Murphy was also grabbing officers' arms and hands and tensing his body while doing so. At this point, the female general manager of Yvonne's joined officers to try to get Murphy home safely, but Murphy became agitated as well with her. The general manager then asked officers if they could arrest Mr. Murphy because he was being disrespectful towards officers and her. General manager also stated that she was going to have to fire whoever let Murphy into the bar intoxicated. Officers then started to escort Murphy to the wagon and drive him home to Malden to resolve the disturbance because Murphy was uncooperative and unwilling to accept officers' assistance. During the approach to the wagon, Murphy grabbed Officer Tavares' left shoulder area and wrapped his hand around Officer Tavares' department-issued radio shoulder microphone cord. Mr. Murphy then grabbed Officer Tavares' right hand and attempted to twist it. Officers broke free from Mr. Murphy's attempt to place him in handcuffs, where he tensed up his body once more. Officers Gerard and Smigeski were able to place Murphy into handcuffs. Officer Tavares and Gerard transported Mr. Murphy to National Street Jail for booking. Upon arrival at the jail, Murphy refused to participate in any part of the booking process. Officers placed Mr. Murphy in a cell to get him to sober up, calm down. At this time of this book being written, Mr. Murphy is still refusing booking process at National. Mr. Murphy will be charged at Boston Municipal Court with the following: disorderly conduct, A and being a police officer, and resisting arrest. Officers informed Sergeant Wallace, the Alpha 904, incident occurred inside a licensed premise. The licensed premise inspection code 35 will be conducted at a later time. I believe I do have Officer Wallace's report as well. On 3/15 at about 12:30 a.m., Detectives William Samaras, the Gold 837, Officer Scott O'Brien, the Gold 808, responded to Yvonne's at 2 Wanted Place, conducted a licensed premise inspection related to an incident that occurred on 3/8/25. The detectives issued LPV number 037-813 for ABPO, which is assault and battery police officer, and an over-intoxicated employee off duty. Rafael Barbarossa signed and accepted the violation, and there were no other incidents observed. And that is that report.
Thank you very much, Attorney Burke. Would you like to address the alleged incident?
Only briefly, Sergeant Detective Gallagher, I know you weren't present at it, but from all indications from the original report of the incident that evening, were the staff and folks at Yvonne's cooperative with the Boston Police Department in this incident?
Yes, sir, they were.
And likewise on issuing the citation, that states specifically that they cooperated, they accepted the violation and cooperated during the inspection, correct?
Correct, sir.
Thank you. I have no further questions for Sergeant Detective Gallagher, Mr. Green. On behalf of Yvonne's, I'm going to ask Mark Malatesta to step up, but I would just like to clarify, because it's not really clear from the reading of the police report, but Mr. Murphy, who was an employee, was not working on this Saturday, the 8th of March of 25. He was in, we've got a receipt we can show you if you wish, provide to the board, but he came in and had a bite to eat and a single drink. We have the check for that incident. We will And I'll submit to you, we also have a video that's available that reflects him coming into the premises and the property that evening to have that. And it demonstrates rather clearly, I think, and I'll push it over to the board, that that he was not stumbling or anything else like that. So with that, those little bit of clarifications, I'll let Mr. Malatesta testify. Mr. Malatesta, enter up and state your name for the record, please.
Yes, my name is Mark Malatesta.
What's your position with Yvonne's,
I'm the owner and manager.
okay. On the night in question, the 8th of March of 25, did you employ in some capacity this individual, Patrick Murphy?
Yes.
Was he working that evening or that day?
No.
And what was his status in the restaurant at the time in question in the evening?
He was a good employee. He was a server for us for over 3 years. No previous incidents, no previous, real write-ups or anything. This was very out of left field for us.
Did you understand him to have any sort of a drinking problem at all?
No.
All right. And on the evening in question, do you know how long he was in your restaurant prior to this incident commencing?
It's about 45 minutes total.
And does the check for the food and drink that he had reflect that he had a plate of food and a single drink, a Cosmopolitan?
Well, he did. He ordered a plate of meatballs and a drink, and then ordered a second cocktail, which is when they noticed that he was showing signs of intoxication. And they offered to drive him home, get him where he needs to be, because obviously something had changed in that quick period of time. I'm not sure what it was, but he walked in on his own 2 feet looking normal, and things changed very quickly when we addressed the situation.
Was he served the second drink that he requested?
I believe it was served, and then that's when they noticed that there was an issue and asked him to take off. I can't tell you if he had a sip of it or not. I'm unsure.
Okay, but they pulled it and they didn't charge him for that drink, right?
I don't know if he paid for the tab at all, to be honest with you.
Okay. And with regard to what occurred next thereafter, is it your understanding that your staff made attempts to sort of de-escalate the situation and get Mr. Murphy home safely?
Yes, as soon as we told him that he needed to leave the premises and we'd help him, he got combative and very aggressive with the staff. Our security guard arrived around 8 p.m., so he assisted with it at that point. And, he wouldn't refuse to leave the building, refuse to leave the lobby of the host stand, which is where he was sitting in that chair. The staff was kind of holding him down because he was being aggressive towards guests and other staff members.
And before it even got to that point, that aggression that you've described, had not your staff telephoned into the Boston Police Department
Yes.
appropriately to get their assistance?
Yes, when he refused to leave, we called the police.
And the police subsequently responded, as is reflected in the report that was read into the record by Sergeant Detective Gallagher. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And do you have any information that the incident proceeded otherwise than as has been reported in the report from the Boston Police Department read by Sergeant Detective Gallagher?
No, the only thing that's not noted in there, and the board can take note of this. We did go through a full staff retraining. Anyone whose tips were about to expire, we had them done already, and spoke to everyone about, no matter who it is, if they're showing any signs of intoxication, at any point, speak up, whether you're a host, a food runner, or a server serving themselves.
What's Mr. Murphy's current status with Yvonne's?
He was terminated after this incident.
As a result of this incident?
That's correct.
Okay. I don't have any further questions of this witness, Mr. Green.
Thank you. Then anything further before we move to questions from the board? We will see if there are any questions at this time. Chairwoman Joyce.
Thank you. So, Mr. Murphy was scheduled to work that night?
No.
No.
Okay, he wasn't.
No, he didn't work that day at all. He came in the evening about 45 minutes before this incident occurred and come in for a bite to eat and a drink. That's all. Had not been in there prior to that day.
So so the statement in the police report that 2 males stated that they work at the restaurant and Mr. Murphy showed up to work on his day off. Oh, he showed up to work at work on his day off. Okay.
I think they were just describing it. He came to his workplace on his
Okay.
pickup. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
No,
I don't have any other questions at this time.
thank you, Madam Chair.
I have no questions. You are going to submit the video, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
No questions from me. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
With that, I
Thank you,
will make
Mr.
sure that the
Green.
video is forwarded to the board as soon as it is received, and the board will take this under advisement at this time. Thank you.
Many thanks to all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving back to the top of this morning's agenda, calling item number 1, Rock Bottom Group LLC, doing business as Rock Bottom Restaurant and Brewery, located at 115 Stewart Street. Date of the incident, February 26th, 2025. Assault and battery, patron on employee in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A, and assault and battery employee on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A. Who is present on behalf of the licensee?
Me, Juan Herrera.
Thank you, Mr. Herrera, for joining us this morning. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department? That was Officer Gonzalez, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Officer, you may have arisen. Are you still with us?
Yes, sir, correct. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Yes, we can hear you now. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify this morning? Can you both please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Oh, Officer Gonzalez.
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. Thank you. Could you please read the report into the record for the board?
On Wednesday, February 26, 2025, at about 10:17 p.m., officers responded to a radio call for assault and battery in progress at the Rock Bottom Restaurant on 115 Stewart Street. On arrival, officers observed the victim, which is the manager, Juan Herrera, and the suspect, Thomas Savage, having a verbal dispute outside. Officers observed a cut on Herrera's left hand knuckles, but he refused EMS. Herrera stated that the suspect had been asked to leave the restaurant prior, but refused to. After being served a total of 2 alcoholic beverages, the suspect had gotten up and left the restaurant without paying. Herrera followed the suspect outside, which is when the suspect punched him on the upper left shoulder. Herrera stated that he defended himself by punching the suspect back in the face. The suspect was seen to be highly impaired and was unable to answer any further questions regarding the altercation. He refused Boston EMS due to head pain, which resulted in no arrest but a summons for Chapter 265, 13A assault.
Sorry, Officer Gonzalez, are you still with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yep. Sorry, but was that the entirety of the report, or there seems to be more here?
There's actually more. It was 3 times actually I asked him to leave.
Yep.
The
Sorry,
part-
Mr. Herrera, we'll get to you in just a moment. Sergeant Gallagher, I don't know if you have the remainder of the report.
Yes, sir. I can read the supplemental as written by Sergeant Detective Lucas Tax. I've been previously sworn, but I'll read it as follows. On 3/1/2025 at about 12:15 a.m., Sergeant Detective Lucas Taxter, Detective William Samaras conducted a licensed premise inspection at Rock Bottom at 115 Stewart Street. Detectives issued licensed premise inspection notice number 037809 for assault and battery, patron on employee, and assault and battery employee on patron. Manager Juan Herrera accepted, signed for the notice, and cooperated during the inspection. No other violations were observed. Mr. Herrera was asked to preserve any video footage of the previous incident. And that is Sergeant Taxter's report.
Thank you very much. We'll go to Mr. Herrera now, if you would like to address the alleged incident.
So the part of the guest was there. He ordered, I believe, was onion rings and 2 drinks. He tried to leave without paying, And my employee, Emmanuel, that actually he was one of the ones that saw everything, he ran to stop the guest and pulled back in. I was not in the floor at that moment. I was in the offices on the second floor. Um, I got noticed right after, like, the whole situation happened. Guest left with no issue. He paid the bill. Second time walked in, he sat on one of the tables. I said to the gentleman, I'm sorry, but at this moment we cannot serve you. You try to leave already without paying. Um, and then he walked out totally fine. This is table 113. Second time he walked in again, table 121. He started insulting me. I said to him, I already spoke to you once, and I'm not gonna repeat it again. I'm just gonna ask for the leave. If you don't leave, I'm just gonna call 911. He keep insulting me like F plus words. So I tried to fake that I was calling 911. He left the place, and there was actually an officer right in front of the building. No, so keep going.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so second time that I asked him to leave, this is table 101, 121. Repeat it again. So he keep insulting me. I asked him to leave. That was the second time I asked him to leave. He didn't want to leave. So I try to, like, grab the phone, fake it that like I'm trying to call 911. He left the building. There was police officer, a car right in front of the building. No, it was not for us. He was just standing in there, left without no issue. This third time, he walked in and sat table 151, and I'm in the bar helping my bartender because he's a little backed up. I made some cut off employees because, short, um, no business at all. So he walked in 151. I walked in again towards him. I said, I already asked you once, twice, and I'm just gonna call the police on you. He got up and started insulting me. He trying to fake towards like trying to punch me. I called 911 right away. I'm on the phone with them trying to describe the guest towards the officer and the dispatch. I'm going a little faster, but the guy keep faking or in the in the dispatch person trying to calm me down, and I said really can't calm down that much because he's like trying to fake towards me that he has something. I said I don't know, he's just trying to hit me. um he opened the door, he keep going over and over. I'm in the phone trying to describe the as to the officer. He opened the door. That's not the front door, that's my emergency door. He opened the door and he tried to let it go. I got close to the door. I'm with my left hand holding the door and with my right hand holding the phone. And out of nowhere, the guy literally just hit me. I had my phone on my right hand and I covered my face. He hit me in the shoulder. I don't know what he hit me with. I was bleeding on this hand. And I don't know where he didn't fall on the floor. He just kind of lost his balance. He didn't have his glasses. And I tried to grab the glasses, like the lens, because he dropped it. And then the glasses was in the other side. And he's like, I'm looking for my glasses. I'm like, sir, you have it right there. It's like F words to me, like, shut up, shut up. And I'm like, and then I turn around. I see the officers coming towards me. I pick up my phone because my phone is on the floor. I hold on the phone and I'm like, officers are here. I'm just gonna hang up. Thank you so much. I hang up. I got out of the building. My employee, Emmanuel, is literally behind me. Behind Emmanuel, one of the officers, uh, how do you say that? I'm sorry. Took some stuff that Emmanuel saw, and then the other officers taking one from me. Third officer is going towards him, and he's just yelling and going crazy. And I'm like, his glasses are behind him, and he's limped. And one of the officers on the others, I'm like, I should be okay. Just gonna wash my hands and put a band-aid. I should be okay. That's it. And then he just started yelling and yelling and going crazy. From there, they could just call an ambulance and they took him. That was it.
Thank you very much. And just before we move on to questions on the board, just apologies for what just occurred. All of those individuals have been reported to Zoom, and we will be following up with Boston Police for an investigation of what just happened, as we did last time this happened on a entertainment hearing. That turn it over to the board to see if there are any questions at this time. Chairwoman Joyce.
Danny, I can't turn my video on, but I don't have any questions at this time.
Do you have any video of this, Mr. Herrera?
No, sir, absolutely not. No front of the house video. There's a big camera outside the building, but I don't think it can catch it because there's a column in that corner. Maybe from the right side, but I don't think it's too far away. And
Okay,
I don't have no cameras inside the building. I only have cameras in my kitchen and on my office.
okay. And that outside camera, is that your camera though?
No, sir. It's the transportation building camera.
Okay. I have no other questions. Thank you.
No questions at this time. Only to suggest that maybe cameras would be helpful on the inside.
That's a good idea. General manager was actually thinking about that, especially because we're in downtown and a high crime area, and so many issues been happening. Homeless walking in basically on the building.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, then the board will take this matter under advisement at this time. Thank you very much. Calling item number 3, The Great Escape Inc., doing business as Chubb's Taco and Tequila Bar, located at 750 to 754 Adams Street in Dorchester. Date of the incident, May 2nd, 2025. Assault and battery, patron on employee in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A. And assault and battery, patron on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A. Who is present on behalf of the licensee?
I am Carrie Sanchi.
Great. Thank you for being with us. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Sergeant Detective William Gallagher will read it if the officers are not here.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals present with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident? Okay, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Thank you. Sergeant Detective Gallagher, if you could please read the report into the record for the board.
Yeah. Morning, I'll be reading from a Boston Police Incident Report that was written by Officer Brian Ruan. At 10:09 p.m. on Friday, 5/2/2025, Officer Ruan and Welter in the Harry 104 responded to a radio call for a large fight at 750 Adams Street at Chubb's Restaurant, Dorchester. Also responding was the Harry 914, Sergeant Keaton, the Harry 436, Officer Schmuck, Officer 202, Polanco, and Rosario Garcia, the Alpha 435, McCarthy, the Alpha 103, Tejada and Lulu, and the Alpha 425, Lopes. Upon arrival, officers were flagged down by a witness, Jessica Kennedy, who stated that she observed a group of females fighting and arguing inside of 750 Adams Street and pointed at a group of females walking towards Saranac Street. 2 of the females fled officers and left the vehicle towards Ashmont Street. Officers Welter attempted to stop the suspect, Kyla Ross, who was ignoring Officer Welter's verbal commands to stop. The suspect then turned around and struck Officer Welter with an open hand on his right shoulder. Officer Welter then placed the suspect Ross under arrest. Suspect was uncooperative with officers for what happened inside 750 Adams Street. Officers spoke to another female of the group, Shante Ross, who was uncooperative on scene and said the girls were fighting inside the restaurant and she helped break it up. Officers entered the restaurant and observed a large amount of broken glass around the bar area of the restaurant. All females were extremely uncooperative on scene and refused to provide identifications and details about the altercation that had taken place. Sergeant 914, Sergeant Keaton conducted a licensed premise check of the restaurant, number 021428. Kyla Ross was placed under arrest and transported to D4 without incident. Carla Ross will be charged with the following: assault and battery on a police officer. I believe that is it. I don't think there's a supplemental. Let me double check. That is it. The violation was written for assault and battery, patron on employee in violation of Mass General Law. Also, assault and battery, patron on patron. And now those are the reports.
Thank you very much. Ms. Santry, would you like to address the alleged incident?
Yes, I can just say, so the party that was fighting, they all were together at one large table and they started arguing amongst themselves, at which time the manager on duty had asked them to lower their voices, and they did not take that direction very well. So they, started swiping glasses off of the table and arguing with each other. He did try to get in between them because it seemed like some of them were related or something like that, like maybe a mother, daughter. He was trying to get between them and he got shoved. And then we were able to remove them from the building. I can say that we didn't have security on that night. We typically don't see a lot of late night business on Friday and Saturdays at Chubb's, but since then we have added security every Friday and Saturday night.
Thank you. Anything further you'd like to add before we move to questions from the board?
No.
Okay, with that, we'll see if there are any. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
Right now, no. I might have some questions after. I'll wait till the other commissioners speak.
Thank you.
How long had it be from the time that it started to the time that you were able to get them out of the building?
I believe it was less than 5 minutes.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
No further questions, no.
Thank you. Chairman Joyce, any questions at this time?
It may have been covered, but how long was this group in the licensed premise? Do you know?
They were here for about hour and a half to 2 hours. They came in and had dinner. I believe they were celebrating a special occasion. That's why it was like a family group. So they came in and had dinner and a couple drinks, but they were here for in between an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Then the board will take this matter under advisement as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calling item number 4, Concord Entertainment, Inc. Doing business as Bill's Bar and Lansdowne Pub, located at 9 Lansdowne Street. Date of the incident, February 9th, 2025. Assault and battery, employee on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A. Who is present on behalf of the licensee?
Good morning, Attorney Green. Excuse me, Madam Chair, members of the board. Dennis Quilty, attorney representing the licensee. With us this morning, Anthony Chuga, who is the manager on duty on the night in question, and Katina Koropines, who's the risk management person for the Lions Group. Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see Mr. Chuga, but I believe he may be on here as Tony. If so, I've just asked you to start your video.
I'm here. It's just not allowing me to get my camera on.
Okay, I've just asked you to start a video. Something should have shut up on your screen, so we'll give you a moment to take care of that. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
There's Anthony.
Here we go.
Sergeant Detective Gallagher is here if there's no one.
Thank you. And are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify this morning?
Yes, hi. I was the victim of the assault. I'm Jaden Shaw.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Shaw, for being with us. With that, can you all please raise your right hand? Thank you. Ms. Koropines, if you're planning to testify, can you please raise your right hand for the board? Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Great. Thank you. And Mr. Shaw, you as well could just say I do.
Oh, I do.
Thank you. Great. Sergeant Gallagher, if you could please read the report into the record for the board.
Yes, good morning. I'll be reading from a Boston Police report written by Officer Harless. At about 3:40 a.m. on Sunday, 2/9/25, Officer Harless, while assigned to the front desk of District 4, took a walk-in simple assault report that occurred at the Lansdowne Pub, located at 9 Lansdowne Street, Boston. Jaden Hasio, victim, stated that he arrived at the above-mentioned location around 1 a.m. on 2/9/25 to meet up with his friends so they could Uber home together. Aseo victim stated that while he was waiting outside, he called his friend Paul Lee, victim number 2, who was inside. Aseo stated that Lee exited the bar and they both were waiting for the rest of their group when the bouncer's suspects approached them. Aseo stated that the bouncer asked both of the victims if they were going inside of the bar or staying outside. Aseo stated that the bouncer then proceeded to push him and he almost fell to the ground. Aseo stated that both of the victims then overheard the bouncer say something along the lines, "Do they think they know Kung Fu?" to the other staff members of the bar. Aseo stated that they then asked the bouncer if they could go inside the bar while they wait for the Uber to arrive, to which the bouncer replied, "Fuck you, I'll punch you in the face," all pointing at each of them. Aseo stated that the rest of their group came outside and they confronted the bouncer. Aseo stated an altercation ensued, and the bouncer grabbed Lee by the collar of his jacket, pushed him up against a car, and punched Lee in the face with a closed fist. Lee stated that his nose began to bleed and he had a small cut across the bridge of his nose. Both Aseo and Lee declined EMS. Aseo described the bouncer as a black male, approximately 5'7", 200 pounds, and wearing a black jacket. That is the end of that report. There's a second one that was written by Detective Gavon. And it reads as follows. On Wednesday, 3/5/25, Detectives Gavon and Texera conducted a code 35 at Lansdowne Pub. License premise inspection number violation 039385 was issued for employee on patron A and B in violation of the incident that occurred on 2/9/25. And that's all the reports. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a third one here. Also, Detective Gavon, looks like a follow-up. Victims stated that they no longer wish to pursue charges against the suspect identified as Terrell Bradshaw, black male, DUB 7/19/94, 94 Street, Dorchester. And that's it.
Thank you. Attorney Quilty, would you like to address the alleged incident?
If I may, first and foremost, Detective Sergeant Gallagher, the last report you read indicated that the victims wish to not pursue charges against anyone. Is that correct?
That's in Detective Gavon's notes, yes.
And in his, I think it was his report, his was the inspection notice. The management cooperated with the police according to that license premise inspection notice, correct?
They did, sir.
Okay. And I know you were not present. You're reading a report of another, but we did provide video of this. I presume you wouldn't be aware of that, but if the board is not, we've saved it and we'll provide that again to you. Sergeant Gallagher, this is a walk-in report.
Correct, sir.
And this people apparently who made the walk-in report shortly thereafter decided they were not going to pursue the matter. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. I have no further questions of the Sergeant Detective. Is the other individual going to testify?
Yes. Just to clarify, in the police report, I think the two names were flipped. So, for Paul Lee, it was meant to be Jaden, and then for Jaden, it was meant to be Paul Lee. Basically how it happened that night, I was already in the bar, and Paul came around 1 a.m. Shortly after, I tried to exit and to go get him. As I was exiting, I was pushed out the bar and told I couldn't come back in. And we shortly called an Uber, and we were waiting to get inside the Uber. And then after that, Paul was talking more to the bouncers and whatever. And then the bouncers then turned around to each other and said, "Do you think these chinks know Kung Fu, and can we fight them?" We overheard that. Talked to them a little. We weren't looking for any confrontation, nothing like that. And then the bouncer basically grabbed me by my collar and my hoodie, pushed me against the car, and basically said, "I'm gonna punch you." And he punched me against the car. Yeah, and that was that. We didn't do anything. We just kind of walked away afterwards. And this was all around 1:40 a.m.
May I question the witness? Yeah. So, and you are Mr. Xiao, is that how you pronounce it?
Shaw. Yeah.
Xiao, okay. If I were to tell you that the video I mentioned would show that there were no punches thrown whatsoever other than a few pushes between your party and the bouncers, would that change your story here at all this morning?
No, that would not change my story. I have photos of my nose bleeding from the incident, and also there's medical records of me going to the hospital the next day.
Went through all of that difficulty. Why is it that one of you at least wish to no longer pursue charges?
Well, we just thought like, it happened, but then this licensing board hearing came across, so we thought, it's better if we show up and tell our story as well. But then for the charges part, we're students, we don't want to go through the whole process and pursue those charges.
Okay. So you have dropped any charges?
We have dropped we never pursued any criminal charges. We just filed a police report, and basically the detective told me that they would go talk to the manager at Lansdowne
Okay.
and try to sort it out.
Okay. And let me just ask you, you indicated in your testimony that the people at the establishment were using basically racial slurs against you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Because we have indication, you'll hear from Mr. Chuga, that the staff people would testify that you and your friends were using the N-word and using racial slurs against these people.
Well, that's not true from their part.
But your report about Chinks is true, and theirs about N-word is not true.
I don't know what else to tell you, but from my side of the story.
And were you told when you went out, were you told that you would not be allowed back in because of the time of the night that it was, that at around 1 o'clock they stopped letting people in? Were you not told that?
We were told that, and that's why we were prepared to leave. It was snowing and blizzarding that night. And we basically called an Uber, and we weren't looking for any escalation. We really weren't trying to go back in. We were just trying to leave. The Uber took a while to come because of the snow and everything. So I mean, this happened like we exited the establishment like probably like 1:20. So we were only outside for like 20 minutes before, I got hit in the face. And like there was really nowhere else to go but to stand outside and wait.
So is it your testimony that for merely standing outside, the individual just came up and punched you?
No, I mean, we
Or are you
overheard.
trying to get back in?
We asked why we couldn't go back in, right? We asked why we couldn't go back in. They told us why, and then we were like, okay, then let's call an Uber. And we overheard them say something, those racial slurs. And then after that, we were a little bit upset, so we confronted them a little bit. And then the whole thing got escalated from there.
So were you a little upset because you were told you couldn't go back in because it was 1 o'clock and they stopped letting people in? Why didn't you just wait for your Uber and leave?
I mean, I was a little upset. Yeah, of course. I mean, we were upset that we couldn't go back in because my friend just came and he was waiting outside to come in. I was already inside, so I came out to see him, and then we had other friends that were still inside as well. We had two other friends that were still inside. But at the end of the night, it was like, yeah, if we were told we can't go back in, then there was nothing else we could do, right? And we weren't looking for a fight. We weren't looking for anything. We were just trying to wait for our Uber. It was snowing outside, and we were just trying to leave. But then I think what pushed the limits was us hearing that statement. Then we kind of talked to the bouncers more, and we were like, hey, look, like, that's not a nice thing to say, we weren't trying to fight at all. Like, we weren't trying to do anything. And I mean, you can look at the footage more. you can see that I got punched in the face. And as soon as that happened, we walked away. And obviously, I'm angry as he's grabbing me by my collar, pushing me against the car, right? And I'm bound to say, like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Right? And that's what I said. And after I said that, he clocked me in the face, and my nose started bleeding, and then I proceeded to walk away from the establishment with my whole friend group.
So you knew that the staff were not allowing people back in after 1 o'clock or thereabouts. You were told that directly, correct?
Yes, I was told that.
So having been told that directly before anything else happened, why did you not simply call your Uber, wait for your Uber, and leave? Why did you go back and confront people? I don't understand that.
Because
You
we
could have just
overheard.
left. You could have called your Uber and left.
Right, but we could have went to the moon too, right?
No,
Like,
no.
look,
Turning right over.
we overheard the bouncers make an insulting statement, and to me, that's just not something that's right. And as professionals working in the risk management scene, I feel like there should be some sort of standard, that we should respect each other, especially at a place like a Fenway bar.
That would mean that you or anyone in your party would not use the N-word to taunt these people. Is that correct?
We would not
Are
use
there
that.
standards for you too?
Of course, there's standards for us too. And we did not use the N-word. I can promise you that.
Very good. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you too.
Does the board have any questions for this witness, for Mr. Shaw, before we move to the licensee?
I don't know.
Attorney Quilty, you may continue.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to call Mr. Chug in a moment, but I want the board to be aware that the incident, as is indicated in the violation notice, was not called into the police. And there's a very understandable reason for that. The staff people who were involved in this situation did not inform anyone on management on the night in question or subsequently that this incident had occurred. The management was completely unaware until the detectives came with the violation notice sometime subsequently to this incident. As a result, the employees were fired, not for the underlying incident itself, but rather for not telling management that this had occurred so that management could do the right thing and call the police. Having said that, it is our opinion that these individuals you just heard from began the confrontation, egged on the confrontation, are equally responsible. We have video, which again has been given to the police department. We have a copy, if the board is not in receipt of it, we'll send to you. It appears to our viewing that there were no punches thrown. You will hear testimony that these individuals indeed did call the staff people racial slurs, which probably led to this confrontation. And it appears from what we observed in the video, that this was nothing more than a pushing match between these two groups of people. But they had been told before anything occurred, they've been told, we cannot allow you back in. It's our protocol. After this particular time of the night, we don't allow people back in. So either stay in or leave. But once you leave, you're not going back in. They knew that. They could have complied with that. They could have called their Uber and they could have left. They didn't. I may call Mr. Chuga. You're here. I saw you. Would you identify yourself, Mr. Chuga?
Yeah, so my name is Anthony Chuga. I'm the one of the managers at the Lansdowne Pub. I was actually the manager working that night of this incident.
All righty. And you heard the so-called victim just testify. What information did you glean that led up to this incident?
So as you stated about the footage before, there should be a part where you'll see me enter the camera angle. I see something like I see words being exchanged, so I walk over. I tell the door I got to back up for a second. And the patron and his friend were in the door guy's face. That's when I told him to back up. And
Anthony, you're breaking
these
up.
guys asking going on.
Anthony, you're breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we
Now,
can hear
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, can you hear me
Go
now?
ahead. Yep.
Okay, so when I walked up, I saw the patron and his friend in the door guy's personal space, and they were very elevated. They were yelling. So I stepped in between them and I told the door guy to back up for a second just to go inside and that I'd take care of it. When I spoke to these guys, they were upset that they couldn't get back in. And I explained to them, well, our protocol is after 1 a.m., we don't allow anybody back in the building unless they're working, management, something like that. But after 1 a.m., our protocol is we do not allow anybody back in the building. As people leave, we let them know there's no reentry. There's no reentry. I literally, I drill that into my guys' heads just so that things like this don't happen. People can always choose to leave, at least at the very least. We try to let them know that there is no reentry. So after explaining that to them, I asked, okay, how are we getting home tonight? I know it's snowing, it's starting to snow. How do we get home tonight? Are we calling an Uber? Did we drive? And they were able to calm down and they said, look, we're just going to call an Uber. We're going to get out of here. We have friends in there. Is there anything we can do? They did try to come in a couple times with me, and I just explained to them that the rule is the rule. I can't bend that rule for anybody. Once we were there talking for a bit, I told them, hey, why don't we just call an Uber? Let's just call an Uber. They pulled out the Uber app. We shook hands. At that time, another gentleman inside had slipped and fell and actually hurt his eye. So I was called away to deal with that. But in the camera footage, you will see that I shake these guys' hands. It seemed to me it was de-escalated. I had left the door guy inside. I told him not to go back outside. These guys crossed the street. They went away. I thought that was it. Lo and behold, every single night we actually have a security meeting. We debrief of any incidents that may have happened, anything that we could have done better. We do that every single weekend, every single night. As some of you may know, we do have security every single night. So once they left, I explained to them, hey, I had a kid fall down inside. I got to make sure he's okay. Are you guys okay? Yes. Okay, cool. We shook hands. We parted ways. I go inside. I grab a clean rag for the kid who just fell. I offered EMT services, and that was the end of that. The ambulance came for the kid. They took him to the hospital. That was the end of that. Nothing was told to us in that meeting at the end of the night. Our protocol, like I said, is every single night we debrief with the entire security staff. And nothing of this was brought up to me as far as after they had left, that I thought that they had left. We literally shook hands on camera. They seemed like they weren't upset anymore. I don't know how much longer it was after, but the detective came in, did a licensed premise check. We complied with him, gave him everything he needed to know. We got all the camera footage. We immediately started working on incident reports. And like you stated previously, this door guy was let go because he didn't follow the protocol as far as giving the information of what happened after to the management staff so that we could do the right thing and call police, even offer medical services if it's needed, just because that's our protocol. And because that wasn't followed, then I couldn't keep this specific door guy on. But he did explain to me that the reason that it got so bad was because he was being, after they left, they came back and they were calling him racial slurs, really giving it to him. And he just said that he couldn't handle it. He tried to move them off the property. And when they were moving, the snow, they slipped and bumped heads. And I'm pretty sure you can see that in the footage. But as far as everything goes, that's all the information I have.
May I just ask a question, Mr. Green?
Right.
Anthony, so when you shook hands and you went to take care of the other person inside, was it your assumption that there was no incident to report, that nothing had happened to that point, and therefore you went about your business?
Correct.
So, and then subsequently is when you found out there was a physical confrontation. It was afterwards.
Like I said, once the I think Katina, our risk manager, emailed me saying that there was a violation ticket coming our way, which I had no idea about. Every single time there's something that happens like that, one, we call the police, we offer medical services, and we file incident reports the night of. We save the camera footage, but like I said, because as far as I knew, we shook hands, they were waiting for an Uber. That's where I had left it. I thought we completely de-escalated it. I thought it was no longer a problem. But after finding out, after investigating, we realized that these guys came back and antagonized our door guy.
So had you known, would you have called the police?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We do that every single time. Even especially if someone gets hurt. Like I said, I had already called an ambulance before. I have no problem calling an ambulance when someone gets hurt. Try to do the right thing, make sure safety is our number one thing. Whether it's an aggressor, we still got to make sure everybody's okay. I would have absolutely called police. I would have called EMT if I'd known that this happened, that it went to this extent.
Thank you, Anthony. The commissioners may have some questions for you. Hold on there.
Thank you. We'll see if the board has any questions for the licensee, the victim, or the police at this time. Chairman Joyce.
Yes, if you wouldn't mind forwarding the video to the board, we have not received it.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if this is for you, Attorney Quilty, or Ms. Corbines, or for Anthony, but we have now requested twice written confirmation of de-escalation training. We requested that in December 2024. We never received it. We requested it again on the record in April 2025, and we said that had to be received within 30 days. We have not received it. So this is another request.
Yes, ma'am.
And I would like that within the next 24 hours. Otherwise, we'll be having a hearing on why we have not received written confirmation of this training. It appears that the testimony today is that you do training and you break down every night and every weekend, but the board wants to see this training because obviously there's some lapses in the training if we're here again requesting this now for the third time. So I consider this something very serious that you've either ignored it, you haven't seen it as being important enough, or you just don't do it. So I will be looking for that training. It's something I think the team there needs to put some time into and to get that to us immediately.
Yes, will do. Sorry.
Chairman, I will get that to you before the end of the day.
Thank you.
And I will
Katina,
also send you the video before the end of the day.
Thank you.
I apologize. For some reason, my video is not working or not allowing me to go on camera.
Hang on one moment. Yep, I disabled folks from streaming video.
Yeah.
There we go. You can come back on video.
Yes, I have the surveillance footage. I worked closely with Detective Govan. I've worked with him in several other instances when he's needed surveillance footage for D4 in the Lansdowne Street area. I will be able to send you all that footage. In addition, I know the victims no longer decided not to press charges against the assailant, which was one of the security staff members. The video will show that no punches were thrown. The video will also show it started. I'm not sure. I understand that according to the victim, there was some confusion of the names of the two victims in the situation, but the video starts at 1:03 a.m. on Saturday 2/9, where a Asian male wearing a dark blue or black hoodie and blue jeans and white sneakers approaches the pub entrance as in denied entrance. I'm not sure if this is the victim that is at the hearing or his friend. But this goes on from 1 a.m. till for at least a half an hour. It wasn't 20 minutes. And prior to the employees being terminated for not following protocol, Mr. Terrell did, this is the man that's being accused of assaulting the victim. Mr. Terrell did write a incident report where he states that not only was he called racial slurs multiple times, but they also insulted him, his size. They called him a fat N-word. My computer is giving me a hard time, so I can't pull up. I can't magnify the incident report, but I can also send that to the board as well. And I would also like to note that even though there are no criminal charges being pressed here, 4 days after the incident took place, we did receive a letter from an attorney's office representing the victim, requesting us to notify our insurance carrier, as well as save any video and documents, which we have complied with. And our insurance carrier is on notice.
I'm sorry, real quick. Is it Mr. Terrell or Mr. Bradshaw? Sorry.
Terrell Bradshaw.
It's Terrell Bradshaw.
Is his name.
Okay.
He has actually testified many times in front of the board for previous incidences.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. Was he alleged to have been involved in any of the several alleged assault and battery employee on patrons in the past, like, let's say 2024, 25?
Yeah, we've provided video surveillance. He's provided testimony. I mean, I don't know off the top of my head all the number. I don't know off the top of my head the number of violation hearings that the pub has been before the board for in the last year, but Terrell Bradshaw has testified many times on behalf. And most of those decisions ended up in no violation.
Yeah.
Whether we know was the question, has he been accused? Is that what
Yes.
the question is? Yeah, I suppose we can look through.
I don't believe he was personally accused. Security has been accused several times. But in the last year,
it's okay. I'll go back and watch the old hearings and review the old police reports. Thank you.
Just regarding the scope of the video, when you said it covers 30 minutes, does it corroborate what Tony was saying, is that the victims crossed the street and then they came back? If I can understand sorry.
Yeah, let me read you I'll read you some excerpts from the narrative because I took notes when I watched the surveillance footage. Okay, so at 1:03, an Asian male who I list as M1 is wearing a dark blue or black hoodie, blue jeans, and white sneakers. He approaches the main entrance of the pub. He's denied entrance because it's after 1 a.m. and the staff was no longer admitting patrons. He tries to get the door guy to let him in because his friends are already inside. You see him on his phone calling and texting. At 1:07, a second Asian male, M2, who was already inside the pub, comes to the main entrance. He is taller and thinner than M1. He is also wearing a dark hoodie, blue jeans, and white sneakers. He is trying to convince security to let his friend, M1, inside. It was explained to the two men that there was no entry after 1 a.m. It was explained to M2 that even though he was already inside, if he left, there would be no re-entry. He walked outside anyway. At 1:10, Anthony Chuga, brown coat, dark hat, glasses, and dark jeans, comes out to speak to the two males. He stands talking to them for about 10 minutes. He tells Terrell, the security staff person who denied M1 entry, to go inside and take a break. Anthony explains to them that they stopped letting patrons in after 1 a.m. Even though M1 and M2 do not seem happy, they seem to be complying with Anthony. They told him they would call an Uber. Anthony walks back inside. There are other security staff present, and you see the patrons come to the door and getting denied and walking away with no issue. At 1:20, M2 is on his phone, walks away from the front entrance of the pub towards the House of Blues and goes off camera. At 1:21, Anthony Chuga walks out of the main entrance to the right towards the House of Blues and goes off camera. 1:22, M2 comes back from where he was and walks to the front entrance of the pub. 1:25, another security staff person leaves the front door and goes inside the pub. 1:26, Terrell and the security staff person come back and take their positions at the front entrance. In addition to them, there are 2 to 3 security staff members, and it looks like there are 2 other males outside. They appear to be friendly or know M1 and M2. At 1:28, Terrell walks away from the main entrance towards the sidewalk and stops in front of the white car parked on Lansdowne Street. He turns and looks at everyone standing at the main entrance. He walks back towards the main entrance, and it looks like he is speaking with M1. It is my understanding that M1 was calling the staff all kinds of racial slurs. At 1:28, Terrell walks away. Did I just say that already? Yes, I apologize. At 1:28, M2 walks up to Terrell and gets in his face, then puts his hands on his chest. Terrell pushes M2 off of him. M2 slips on the snow but doesn't fall. M2 comes back into Terrell's face. Terrell is now surrounded by M1 and M2 and another male that appears to be with them. A male security staff person comes up and stands next to Terrell. Terrell, M2, and M1 continue to argue. It is my understanding that both M1 and M2 use derogatory language and racial slurs when speaking to Terrell and the rest of the staff. The racial slurs were mostly directed at Terrell. At 1:21, Terrell pushes M2 away from him. It looks like a friend of M2 steps between Terrell and M2 to try and calm them down. M2 is messing with his phone while this is going on. At 1:29:58, M2 and Terrell continue to argue. They appear to get more and more animated until Terrell grabs M2 by the shirt.
Can I just interrupt? I'm just going to repeat what I've said at previous hearings. This really is not helpful when we don't have the video before the hearing. It's just a whole bunch of descriptions and we can't put it into context. So if we even had that in writing, it would be helpful to read along, but we're sitting here and I can't follow it.
Is it okay if I
I
add
was
something?
just trying to answer the chairperson's question.
Yeah, if we had the video in your narrative before the public hearing, it would be a lot more helpful. We could have better questions. But again, we don't.
Provide
You
right
haven't
away today.
submitted anything ahead of time. So I'm on the record again, requesting you, if you appear before us again, to submit the stuff to us directly before the hearing.
Will do. And we'll provide this evidence today.
Thank you. I'll forward it to the board when we do. Commissioner Curran?
I just want to confirm, because it's my impression, we did get some of your narrative, Ms. Corpines. I want to confirm with the victim who's here with us that you've listened to her description. And when I get the video, I'm going to kind of go off that as well. I believe that she's describing you as M2. Is that correct?
As the taller Asian male.
You were inside.
Yes.
Yeah, and so
Yes, I was
she
inside.
seems to be describing M2 as the person who was inside, and she has that label on that person who came from inside the whole time. So that would be you.
Yes, that would be me.
That was my impression, so I just wanted to confirm that. Thank you.
Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
Yeah, I think it would be helpful if I can have the narrative and the video at the same time. Was there a third person? It seems like the narrative there was a third. Is it Jaden, can you confirm?
Yes.
At some point
So-
in the video, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. So actually the person that was mentioned by Tony that tripped and fall and had to have EMS called on him, that was the person I was texting the whole time because that was the friend I was waiting on from inside. And then a couple of my other buddies came too, but they never entered the establishment and they just kind of hung out outside. It was 2 of them.
But that person's fall on the inside was completely unrelated to what was happening outside, right?
Correct.
Oh yeah, it's completely unrelated. I'm just saying that that was actually the person I was,
Yeah.
because that was the person I went with, and
Did
then
you-
I came out to see my other friend. Yeah.
Was there a third person that you knew outside with you having a confrontation or involved in the interaction with security?
Yes, there was my other roommate that maybe did talk to security, but I can't recall if he talked too much or anything.
All right, but the person that Ms. Corpines identified as possibly being with you, there was someone with you in your group, a third person.
There was another person with me. Yes, there was another person, and he was actually supposed to come today, but I think he got caught up in a meeting. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Jaden, just out of curiosity, what was your level of intoxication that evening?
I was pretty tipsy, I'd say. I wasn't like too drunk. I was probably say 4 drinks in.
Are there any further questions from the board at this time? Great. With that, we will await submission of video, the narrative, and the confirmation of de-escalation training. And I will forward those to the board as soon as received. Thank you all, and the board will take this under advisement.
Thank you.
Calling item number 5, Ipswich Entertainment, Inc., doing business as Loretta's Last Call, located at 1 Lansdowne Street. Date of the incident, April 4th, 2025. Overcrowding on the patio, 78 police count, capacity 60, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.03J, 1.06A and F. And overcrowding on the inside, police count 279, capacity 134. In violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.03J and 1.06A and F, who is present on behalf of the licensee.
Good morning again, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Dennis Quilty, attorney representing the licensee. With us, Gabby Wooten, who's the general manager, and again, Katina Corpines, the risk manager for the Lions Group. Good morning again.
Good morning. Thank you all. I see Ms. Wooten and Ms. Corpines, who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department.
Detective Eddie Hernandez and Sergeant Gallagher. I'll be reading if Detective Hernandez is not here.
Great. Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify? Can you all please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Detective Hernandez, will you be reading the report, or will Sergeant Detective Gallagher?
I will be. I'm sorry. Which one are we reading right now? I apologize.
We are on item number 5, Ipswich Entertainment.
Last call.
Loretta's Last Call.
All right, I have it. Thank you. On Friday, April 4th, 2025, Lieutenant Detective Adrian Troy, Sergeant Detective William Gallagher, and Detective Eddie Hernandez assigned to the BPD license permission conducted a license inspection of Loretta's Last Call. As detectives walked into the establishment, they reviewed the licenses and permits of the establishment. They learned the capacity of the premise at that day setup. Number 1 is set at a total of 194 persons. The number is broken down to 116 persons seated, 18 persons standing, and 60 persons on the outside patio. Detectives performed a mechanical count of the establishment and discovered that the actual number of persons located in the premise was 347. 78 persons on the patio and 279 persons inside. Detectives brought all these matters to the attention of the person in charge, Ms. Gabby Wooten. Ms. Wooten stated that she would bring the establishment into compliance. As a result of what detectives discovered, Detective Gallagher issued license for inspection notice 020076 for overcrowding, patio capacity 60, police count 78, inside capacity 134, police count 279. Ms. Wooten signed for and accepted the notice. And there is, it looks like attached here, a copy of the Boston Fireplace Assembly permit stating all those numbers we read off. And that's all.
Thank you very much. Attorney Quilty, would you like to address the alleged incident?
Thank you. If I may, good morning, Detective. Did you notice when you arrived whether or not there was a line outside?
I believe that we were able to just walk in. I don't think there was much of a line.
That's what I was informed as well. This was about 12:15, a little bit after noontime.
Yep, right around there, sir.
Okay. And I believe this was opening day. Was
yes,
it?
Sir.
So Lansdowne Street was busy. Establishments, the street, there were people all over the place, I presume.
Yes, sir.
Did Miss Wooten, the report indicates that she would bring the establishment into compliance. Did she do so?
We didn't stick around to wait for that. It would have taken forever to get them into compliance, but we just assumed she would.
And as you indicated in the inspection notice, she was cooperative.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
welcome.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions of the detective.
Thank you.
I may call.
Yep.
So I call Ms. Wooten. Thank you. Ms. Wooten, you're here. Would you identify yourself, please, for the record?
Hi, my name is Gabby Wooten. I'm the general manager for Loretta's Last Call.
Okay, and were you present and acting in that capacity on the day of this incident?
Yes, I was there.
And this was opening day of the Red Sox season, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And at the time the police officers came in, you told me there was no line outside. Is that right?
Yes, we didn't have a line yet.
Okay. So when is it that you create a line?
When we hit capacity.
Okay. So did you have people there whose job it was to have a mechanical count of persons in the establishment?
Yes.
Okay. And tell me how you interact with that person throughout the course of the day.
I frequently go and check on the count that they have at the front door. And then also since this, we've added a second clicker so that we have one just for the patio as well now.
Okay, so on the date in question, you did not have that.
Yes, we just had the one.
The one which would give overall capacity, both patio
Yes.
and interior.
Yes.
And can you tell the board what at roughly the time the police officers arrived, what the business count was?
I don't remember the exact number, but I know that we were under on the counter.
You had indicated to me earlier that you thought you were under by 10 or 15 people. Does that
Yes.
sound about right?
Yes.
Okay. And when the police came in, were you surprised that it was indicated that you were over capacity by this much?
Yes.
And can you tell the board why?
We had all the tables still there, but there was room for everyone to be getting around. And we didn't have a line forming yet.
So is it your testimony that from your viewpoint, looking around at what was going on in the room, you determined that it wasn't over capacity?
Yes.
Okay. And yet you did cooperate with the police when they told you it was, and
Yes.
did you take steps to bring it into compliance?
Yes.
Can you tell the board what you did?
We formed a line and we waited until it went down to what they thought would be our capacity.
Okay. And you've read the Boston Fire Department documentation, the licensing documentation, ISD, you know what the capacity is, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And is it your testimony that since this time you've now done inside and outside counts for the purpose of understanding that you're at or under capacity in both locations?
Yes.
Which again, you had not done that day.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Wood. Is there anything else you can offer about your interactions with the police or what happened that day?
No, it was very cooperative, and then I did exactly what they told me to as soon as they had left.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Wooten. The commissioners may have some questions for us, so just stand by.
Thank you. Ms. Wooten, how long have you been manager of record?
At Loretta's since December.
Okay, so were you not manager of record when they received a violation with a warning for April 2024 overcrowding?
No, I was not there.
So explain to me in your own words, the police had you at 145 people over. Just to sum up what you said, you think why there was a discrepancy between your account and the police and what you did to fix that? Seems like a lot to have such a visual discrepancy to the naked eye, 145 people.
Yes. We still had all the tables inside. There was plenty of room for all of the servers to get around, as well as everyone who was dining to have there was enough space.
So that's how you manage the capacity?
We have a clicker, a tally counter at the door.
So when you said there was enough room for the tables inside, at some point do you remove all the tables?
Yes. During late nights we do remove the tables.
Okay, so in your professional opinion, the police were wrong? That 145 people was wrong?
For the patio, we did not have that many people.
Right, that was only 2 people over. I'm talking about inside.
Yes. I do not believe that we had as many people over as was counted. As soon as they did tell me, though, we started a line and waited a bit to let anyone in.
How did you get people out?
We just stopped everyone from coming in.
Okay, so you didn't remove people to get them into compliance?
We waited. A lot of people were leaving at that point when the game was about to start.
Okay. I mean, given your location and Red Sox opening day, I think having a counter that is accurate is quite important.
Yes. Yes. Now we also have the 2 counters, one for inside and then one for the patio.
How many do you have on the inside?
We have one for the door and then one for the outside as well.
Meaning that patio?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
if the board is
that is-
interested, there is video. Ms. Corpines is here. We have video from that day.
Yeah, that would
and
actually be
stills.
helpful because that's a really, in my mind, hard to understand how the police would have the count so wrong. But so please forward the video.
I have video and still shots.
Okay.
You can actually see, like, if 279 people were actually inside Loretta's, no one would be able to move.
Right, but
There
I'm guessing some tables were empty where people should have been sitting.
No.
People
Nope.
were sitting at the table.
The tables that were out there were full.
Okay. Looking forward to you submitting this information.
We'll do that today. Thank you. And in the
Again-
future, Madam Chair, we will provide, assuming we have the film, we will provide it in advance of hearings.
To the board, not to the police.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just
Yes,
going to repeat
exactly.
that every single time because
Yep.
it's starting to become a problem for me. So,
Okay, understood.
yep.
It makes sense. We'll do it.
Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
I just want to clarify, at the time that this violation was written, you were following the setup number 1 on the place of assembly permit, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that limits standing occupants to 18 people, right?
Yes.
Were there more than 18 people standing?
At that point, yes.
Okay, how many people were standing? Like, these 2 setups are clearly, one setup is a restaurant setup
Yes.
where everyone, and the second one is you remove all the tables and you run it as a nightclub, right?
Yes.
How many people were standing while you were supposed to be running as a restaurant?
I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but there were more than 18 people standing.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing additional, thank you.
Thank you. We will await submission of the video and still photographs. And with that, the board will take this matter under advisement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling item number 6, BB Social Club LLC, doing business as Back Bay Social Club, located at 867 Boylston Street. Date of the incident, April 21st, 2025. Overcrowding, first floor, capacity 124, mechanical count 147, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.03J and 1.06A and F. Who is present on behalf of the licensee?
Good morning again, Attorney Green, Dennis Quilty, and Madam Chair members. Dennis Quilty, attorney representing the licensee with me, with us this morning, Jeremy Calloway, and again, Katina Corpines. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Sergeant William Gallagher, Detective Eddie Hernandez, if he's there.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify? Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Sergeant Detective Gallagher, if you could please proceed with the report.
Yes, on Monday, April 21st, 2025, Lieutenant Detective Adrian Troy, Sergeant Detective William Gallagher, Detective Eddie Hernandez, assigned to the BPD Licensed Premise Unit, conducted a licensed premise inspection of Back Bay Social. As detectives walked into the establishment, they reviewed the licenses and premises of the establishment. Detectives learned the capacity of the premise is set at 124 for the first floor. Detectives performed a mechanical count of the establishment's first floor and discovered the actual number of persons located on the first floor was 147. Detectives brought all these matters to the attention of the person in charge, Mr. Jeremy Calloway. Mr. Calloway stated he would bring the premise into compliance. As a result, the detectives had observed Sergeant Gallagher issued license premise inspection 020047 for overcrowding on the first floor. Mr. Calloway signed for and accepted the notice. That's my report.
Thank you. Attorney Quilty, if you'd like to address the
Thank
incident,
you.
please.
Thank you, Sergeant Detective. Thank you very much. Your inspection notice indicates management cooperated.
Yes,
Presume that's correct. Mr.
Correct.
Calloway interfaced with you on the day in question and stated that he would bring the establishment into compliance. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
And could you tell, was there a line when you went in to do your count?
It was Marathon Monday. I believe there was some line, but it's not on the report. But just because of the day, I would assume that there would be something.
Okay. And they are right on the race route, correct?
That's correct, sir.
Did Mr. Calloway suggest to you that he had the issue that he had was controlling people who had been in the downstairs, who rushed upstairs to see people outside? In other words, friends and family, et cetera, coming to see the runners. Is that what caused part of this problem, in your opinion?
I don't think there was anyone downstairs, sir, because of the event. Everyone wanted to be on that floor, and that's what I attributed it to. No one wanted to go downstairs because you couldn't see the marathon.
Right. So the overall count was good. It's just that the upstairs room
Correct,
was
sir.
over. Okay. But did he suggest to you that people who had been eating downstairs had come upstairs for the purpose of seeing their friends and family run by?
I don't recall that. Like I said, I think everyone was there for that reason only, because it was a Monday in the afternoon, and they did eat downstairs. They would not want to stay there long. I'm sure they let them in with the intention that they would go downstairs, but there's nothing to see downstairs.
Yep. I just wanted to ask you, is that what he told you?
No, I don't recall that.
Okay. All right. Did he suggest to you that he personally had his own clicker in addition to the door, that he was observing every 30 or so minutes and doing his own count?
No, sir, I didn't. That's not in the report, and I don't recall him saying that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Detective Sergeant. May I inquire of Mr. Calloway?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Calloway, how are you? Just identify yourself for the record, please.
Of course. Jeremy Calloway, I'm the general manager at Back Bay Social.
Okay, and were you on duty that day, Marathon Monday, when the officers came in? Yes. Is that a particularly busy day?
Yes.
And as a result, in preparation for that day, what steps do you take, and what steps does management take concerning how to operate on that day?
So Detective Gallagher is right. It's difficult to see people downstairs. We run a projector down there. We show like the marathon watch on there, so people can hopefully stay down there. We do tell people if they can sit down there, they can see the whole thing on the TV. People do come up when, as you said, their friends and family are crossing, like going in front of us. They come up for a few minutes. They go back down after their friends and family go in front of the restaurant. But they're actively eating, actively drinking downstairs at tables down there.
And could you explain to the board how you supervise the count of patrons on that day, and what you in particular did that day?
So we have a door guy. He counts he gets a count for the whole house. I go around every 30, 45 minutes or so and get a count on each floor because I obviously floors have different capacities. If one floor happens to be over at a certain point, we'll hold the door for a little while, let people watch whoever they want to go watch, go like run across the street. They'll go back downstairs or go back to wherever they were seating to get like that floor back into compliance. And then once that is all set, we'll let people back in the door again.
Okay. And is that what you were doing that day?
Yes. When the detectives came, I was actively getting it like a count to see where we were at.
And were you using a line at that point when they came in? Was there a line outside?
There's a line all day on Marathon.
Okay. So is it your testimony that you were doing your best to monitor the crowd both upstairs and downstairs and taking periodic checks to do the best you could to stay in compliance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the notation indicates that you were cooperating. Did you personally interface with the officers?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. And in order to bring the room into compliance, what did you do?
I just stopped I just stopped entry until people had gone back to either where they were sitting downstairs or had left the building.
Okay. All right. Thank you. The commissioners may have some questions for you, so just stand by, please.
Thank
I
you,
have no
Chairman.
questions. Thanks.
Yeah, no questions. Thank you.
None from me, thank you.
And we do have, just in case you want, we do have video again. We'll provide that so the board has it for its deliberations.
Thank you. If there are no questions, then the board will take this under consideration. We'll take this matter under advisement, and any video will be forwarded to the commissioners for their review.
Thank you.
Thank you. Calling item number 7, Anchovies Acquisition Limited Partnership, doing business as Anchovies, located at 433 Columbus Ave. Date of the incident, May 1st, 2025. Blocked fire exit with a table set up in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.06a. Overcrowding, 80 mechanical count, capacity 64, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.03J and 1.06A and F. And expired inspectional services certificate dated expired on March 1st, 2025, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64. Who's present on behalf of the licensee?
My name is Richard Tulare.
Great. Thank you for being with us, Mr. Solari. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Detective William Gallagher.
Detective Eddie Hernandez if needed.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals with first-hand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify? Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Thank you. Sergeant Detective Gallagher, if you could please proceed with the board.
Yes, good morning, sir. Reading from Boston Police Incident Report that I wrote. 5/1/2025 at 11:10 p.m. Sergeant Detective William Gallagher, Detective Eddie Hernandez, assigned to Licensed Premise Unit, responded to Anchovies at 433 Columbus Ave for a prior report of public drinkers in front of the premise. Detectives have been informed that on weekend nights, a line develops in front of Anchovies, with some of those in line drinking alcohol and disposing of the empties on the public sidewalk and private property nearby. On the evening of the 1st, which was a Thursday, there was no line. As detectives entered the premise, they observed it to be crowded with patrons standing by the bar and behind the seated patrons, filling most of the floor space. Detectives inquired with door staff as to the count and the capacity. The staff member stated that there were about 70, but had no counting device to show detectives. Detective Hernandez conducted a mechanical count, which resulted 80 persons. The listed capacity of Anchovies is 64. Detectives relayed those findings to the manager, Mr. Joe Tully. In addition, detectives observed the rear exit to be blocked by a table of 4. This was also pointed out to Mr. Tully. On inspection of the premises permits, detectives observed an expired inspectional service certificate, which expired back on March 1st, 2025. As a result, was observed, Sergeant Gallagher issued a licensed premise inspection notice number 020050 to Anchovies for blocked fire exit, overcrowding, 80 on mechanical count, capacity 64, expired ISD certificate. Mr. Tully signed for and accepted the notice. That's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Tulare. Would you like to address the alleged incident?
The table that was in question had been there for years. It was a chair that kind of backs up to the exit. Didn't really ever have an issue with it, but since then we have moved that table. I'm responsible for the licenses. This one got a little bit behind me as I was trying to get my sprinkler inspected before I called the city inspector. And since then, we implemented a doorman about a year ago. He didn't have a counter. He has a counter. He has had a license checker that he scans. We've gone over it with the managers and the doormen, and we have been keeping capacity on a regular basis now. And we talk about it, and it's constantly brought up to make sure that we don't go into violation again.
Thank you for the explanation. The board may have some questions for you. Chairman Joyce?
I don't have any questions, thanks.
Thank you.
I know you said it's been there for years, but that table you're talking about, is there a floor plan associated with your place of assembly permit? Like when you work with the fire department, is it explicitly laid out in any kind of written floor plan?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
And we bought the establishment in 2008, I believe. And I don't think I've seen one since then. And the tables where they're set up, it really hasn't moved in all those years. And also, we do own the condo that the establishment's in, and I'm part of obviously the condo association. I get along with all of my neighbors. I've worked on that block even prior to buying anchovies. I cooked at Giacomo's next door for the 8 years before that. I know a lot of the neighbors there, so we work well with everyone around there. If there was any drinking outside, it certainly wasn't from inside the establishment. Our doorman may not have been keeping a good tab of patrons coming in and out, but he certainly was scanning licenses and would absolutely not let anybody outside with beverages from inside. I don't know what that was all about, if somebody happened to show up with their own beverages or something like that.
Okay. I think that's all I have on this one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The board will take this under advisement. And finally, item number 8, same licensee, Anchovies Acquisition Limited Partnership, doing business as Anchovies at 433 Columbus Ave. Date of the incident, May 31st, 2025. Overcrowding, 73. Police count, capacity 64. In violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.03J and 1.06A and F. Mr. Tulare, you're representing the licensee yet again?
I am.
Great. And who's present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Detective Hernandez.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of this alleged incident?
Sergeant Detective Gallagher, if need be.
Thank you very much. You have all been previously sworn. Detective Hernandez, if you could please read the report into the record for the board.
Yes, so good morning. On Saturday, May 31st, 2025, Sergeant Detective William Gallagher and Detective Eddie Hernandez, assigned to the BPD license permission, conducted a license permission inspection of Anchovies. As detectives walked into the establishment, they reviewed the licenses and permits of the establishment. They learned the capacity of the premises set at 64 persons. Detective Hernandez performed the mechanical count of the establishment and discovered the actual number of persons located in the premise was 73. Detectives brought all these matters to the attention of the person in charge, Mr. Joe Cully. Mr. Cully stated that he would bring the establishment into compliance. As a result of what detectives discovered, Sergeant Detective Gallagher issued license and person inspection notice 022007 for overcrowding. Mr. Cully signed for and accepted the notice. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Tulare, would you like to address this incident?
I mean, we screwed up, and I've really had these talks since the second incident and going forward from there. My business partner showed up, who's an older gentleman who does the books. He was in the South End recently, hadn't actually been in the establishment in a couple of years. And he went in on a Saturday night, and the doorman didn't know who he was. And he was like, "You can't come in. We're at a capacity." So it was nice to see. And he was like, "Hey, I'm one of the owners in the place." So there was no special treatment there and he waited to get in. So I can say that since the second, they have been doing their job.
Thank you. See if there are any questions at this time. Chairman Joyce.
I have no questions. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
None from me, thank you.
Thank you, and the board will take this matter under advisement as well.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Those are all the items before the board this morning. That will adjourn this hearing. The board is set to vote Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Notice has been posted to the city's website. Thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.